Motor Trend, bringing you a different perspective on the South African automotive industry. In this edition, We Buy Cars.
WeBuyCars is a professional car buying company. I would like to think that we were the first company who started the concept in South Africa, and other companies followed us in South Africa, and today it's a well-recognized concept and a well-recognized service in South Africa. So we buy cars. That is exactly what we do.
This business wasn't really started, it just evolved from a passion for cars since I was really young. We grew up with old bangers and we always had to fix them.
I hated every second of it.
I recall, in school, we used to drive to Oma's house and the car would break down and we would fix it, and we always worked on cars.
Fani started buying vehicles with his pocket money. Well, he started buying cheap motorcycles, to be honest, like 400 rand for a motorcycle that's not running, and he would fix it up and sell it. That's where he started.
That was way back in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, when I was in high school. That moment when you just, made your first few bucks, selling something that you bought for less. It's like the coin dropped and I realized, that you can make money this way.
Nothing sums Fani up better than the word focus. He's focused like a lens,
When we came back in 2001, we had this nice big cash injection that we put into the business, and that's when it officially started as We Buy Cars.
While he was in the UK for 2 years, the dynamic of the market changed substantially, and there weren't nearly as many cars available to buy anymore. We had to go source them. And that is where the concept of finding the people before they start advertising the vehicles, appealing to the public. If they want to sell their cars, we would like to come to you to buy your car. And it grew from there.
From there on end, we were full-time in the business, me and Dirk focusing on it. We developed our website, We Buy Cars. At first it was just an informative platform, not interactive. It was just providing information. And but over the years, as people got used to the internet, used to the new technologies and cell phones, etc. I remember those days, when someone phoned you and said, I want to sell my car, you didn't know which one it was. That you couldn't even send a picture over your phone. So it was always a surprise to arrive at a client and see what they've got.
The company started growing and growing some more, and all of a sudden it was growing exponentially, and we were faced with tremendous challenges. If you're a young company and you think you've got the idea of designing your own software, that was the worst year of me and Fani together. It was the first attempt at designing software.
No, that's true.
For the first 10 years, it was only We Buy Cars, and we were only selling to dealers, very little to private people. And then when we opened this warehouse where we are now, then we started selling to private people, because private people were literally pitching up in front of the door asking if they may also buy the cars. And we couldn't think of a legitimate reason to refuse them. Fani is someone who subscribes to the view that if you want something done right, you've got to do it yourself, And that was an obstacle initially in trusting other people, in the hesitation to appoint other people and entrusting them with something that we are so proud of doing right,
What's downtime?
And it took us a while before we started appointing the first people. At some stage, in a business life cycle, you have to think outside of the box, think further than your own frame of reference.
Earlier this year in March, we sold a 25% stake in our business to an investment company called Fletch Capital. What that brings to the party is, new technologies, access to information, and a big cash injection, which helps us expand. You know, we're really growing at a tremendous pace. We have big plans for our business, and this really helps.
Our business is all about people, and so in Van and Dirk we found two entrepreneurs that started the business from scratch. So great entrepreneurial spirit in the business, and then secondly, just people with similar values to ours, people we felt we could work with, and again, it's a very exciting opportunity to invest in.
After the break, more on WeBuyCars. Welcome back to Motor Trends, WeBuyCars.
Every person out there who drives a car will sooner or later need to sell it. So then at that moment you have a few choices. You could trade it in, but you're not always looking to buy a new vehicle, so that's a limited option, and sometimes you don't get offered a fair price on a trade-in because what you have might not be what that dealer wants or who's willing to pay a premium for that vehicle.
Every single dealer who quote on a car online will eventually come and kick the tires and try and knock down the price.
Another option would be to advertise the vehicle privately in one of the newspapers or list it somewhere, but then again you don't know who you are dealing with, and there are risks involved, and that's where we saw the gap in the market.
We look at it far more from understanding the buying behavior of a consumer. So we look at it and just through our own experience think of what it's like to sell a car. Firstly, you don't know what the value is. Secondly, you don't want every guy arriving at your house coming to buy the car. So there are various difficulties, whether it be security or just the hassle of selling a car. So we understand what WeBuyCars bring to the consumer, and it's the ability to sell the car quickly, fast and easy.
My name is Luke. We just sold my wife Ash's car to WeBuyCars. Honestly, the easiest thing I've ever done. I don't know why you would sell your car any other way.
I think that they're well placed. They have that first mover advantage. They were the first guys to do it the way they do it now. They've supported their whole business with technology and with management systems, and so we think it's an incredibly well managed business, well placed in the market, and that the first mover advantage gives them a big benefit.
We offer this platform where you can submit your vehicle details. We have a whole team of evaluators who then assesses that information. We consider book values, past history of our sales, market trends, etc. And then we determine what we would feel a fair value for that vehicle would be. This service, turnaround time on that would be within an hour.
We put a real person in front of you who buys your car.
Some other companies might have an algorithm which we feel is not always accurate, but when you get an answer from us, it's at least been through two humans who would have evaluated the information and given you feedback. So within an hour you got a price and or indication, and then from there, if you feel that this can work, then we set up an appointment. So the whole thing can be done in one day. And then there's a whole process involved there where the buyer then does a thorough evaluation on the car, checks the history of the vehicle, the mechanics, the paintwork, the ownership history, etc. And then we confirm the offer we make you, and once accepted, payment can be done in minutes.
I think their strong point is they know exactly what the right value is that they should pay, and all of the whole business is supported by technology, and without technology and an integrated technology behind them, you would struggle to keep control and struggle to manage the business well. So we think that technology is critical, and then obviously capital. You need to be able to hold on to vehicles. If you don't find a buyer within a certain period, you've got to be able to keep stock and hold that stock until the right buyer comes along.
Logistics is a big thing. Buying 2,000 cars a month, we don't have 2,000 parking bays here. Right here at Info Gateway Pretoria East, we have space for close to 900 cars. And then we have our warehouse in Cape Town where we can fit in only 150 cars. So we're under pressure, and that's why we always sell very quick and at low prices. It's just to move these cars really quick. You can imagine that washing these cars and keeping them clean is a job in itself.
The hard part, the difficult part, is to actually move the vehicles and to actually do the buying and selling. Not only connecting interested parties and taking some sort of profit from them, but to actually really sit in front of the customer and buy his car. And that's what WeBuyCars do, and that's what we do well.
I just sold my car to WeBuyCars, and it was a wonderful experience. Highly recommend it.
How easy is that?
Well done to WeBuyCars, and I'd definitely recommend it to anybody who's interested in selling or possibly buying a car.
WeBuyCars, thank you! I got the best deal ever!
The user experience is critical, and word of mouth becomes critical. And we're happy to say that so far, it's, most people that have dealt with WeBuyCars will do it again because of the user experience.
We've learned a lot over the years, the data that we've got, the artificial intelligence built into our systems, predictive analytics, it all helps to give the customer a better experience with us.
WeBuyCars are never interested to try and make a quick buck or too much money out of one consumer. They're always interested to deliver good customer service. The money and the profit and the return will come by itself if you look after your consumer.
We are really very proud of the way that we serve customers. Look, you do not always succeed. Customer service is a challenge, There's a lot of operational considerations and it all has to come together in one package at the end of the day. It's a challenge.
We sell cars is a challenging part for us because we buy anything. What makes us good is the fact that we're not picky about what we buy. Regardless of the quality of your vehicle, the mileage, whether you're driving a Citroen or a Toyota, we'll buy it from you. So when you arrive here or visit our website, you'll see a reflection of that. We have something of everything. Cars from 20,000 Rand up to over R1 million. Once we have that vehicle, we obviously need to get rid of it and make a bit of money. Now, our profit margins are low, but our turnover is really high. We sell in excess of 2,000 cars a month. So we're really dependent on a network of dealers. We have around 60% of our cars get sold to the motor trade. Then we are left with around 40% of those cars, which we then sell ourselves. They get sold to private individuals. We offer finance to clients, so and that accounts for about 15% of our business, maybe even 20% nowadays that gets sold through retail finance.
We are very impressed about how they do their business.
I just had an amazing experience with WeBuyCars.
I'm very happy with WeBuyCars, even their value.
The used car market is really rapidly growing. I think it's because we offer convenience to clients nowadays. The levels of service has gone up. If you want to finance a vehicle, that gets done in minutes. Banks are really eager to do business, so from a buying perspective, it's much easier with technologies. You can do all your research and searches in the comfort of your own home. They've really stepped up, with the Consumer Act intact. The quality that's on offer and the responsibility carried by dealers is higher, so people can buy with more confidence a second-hand vehicle. And especially nowadays with new car sales, that's on a low. It's important, and it's great to say that I think at least the used car market is alive and well. The car with the best resale value is something that's always in demand. So it's something that appeals to the greater market out there.
We've seen that especially in cheapish vehicles, like your City Golfs, Toyota Corollas, that sort of thing, your cheap cars. They've been increasing in value over the last couple of years.
One thing you must always keep in mind is a car has a model range, or a period over which it comes out. For instance, the Nissan Navara just brought out the new Nissan Navara. So this is a good time to buy that Navara because it's going to be the cheapest one ever of that shape. Don't buy the the most expensive car in a range. Don't rather stick to the more budget ones. Think longer term rather than your immediate needs. We really see it a lot, you know, people buy Audi TT and after 2 weeks they say, listen, I can't get my cooler box in the boot. When we go, our friends go hunting, you know, this car's too low and I want to buy a Hilux. Keep your car longer, I would say. You know, people tend to own cars for 2-3 years and then they sell them on. And that's where you lose money, is when you're trading. So a tip from my side would be just drive your car for 5-6 years and then you get the most out of it.
I think it's been very long since there's been a disruption in the auction world.
That's something that I feel is a growing market.
Auctions are really a science, more than one realizes.
Internationally, when you go and look at the way cars are offered with all the technologies available, you could buy a vehicle over the internet not even being there where the auction is and know more or less what you're getting. So we're seriously looking into an evaluation platform where a buyer, even if he's at the end of the earth, can know what he's buying, have a really good view, a 360, you can zoom in, get a quality test on the vehicle so he knows what he's buying.
It's important to not just have an auction for the sake of having an auction. We need to understand what models we put on the floor. We need to be able to get people to get information to the customer and the dealers of what they can actually buy here. And we need to price the auctions right, meaning your reserve values have to be so that it makes sense to the dealer to come and buy.
We have started auctions which is working well for us. Right now, these auctions are only for dealerships, which offer them the opportunity to start buying from us and experiencing what we have to offer. But hopefully in the not too distant future we'll be having auctions for the public as well.
The way I see it, there's room for someone to get into that industry who's really going to serve the public in that industry, and that's what we intend on doing.
After the break, more on WeBuyCars. Welcome back to Motor Trends, WeBuyCars.
We can expand this business through through buying more vehicles. We can do it through incorporating even more technology. But I think the exciting thing is really to try and see, if we go national in South Africa, how many different places we can sell from, or dealerships we can put up and get more access to, firstly buy more cars and get access to buyers of vehicles.
We will soon be opening a Durban branch, which we are very excited about. And hopefully we'll also be having, in a not too distant future, a big warehouse in Gauteng, much bigger than the one we currently have here, where we could house over 1,000 cars under one roof, which is really exciting, and this investment will help us achieve those goals. Our staff complement grew tremendously over the last 2 years. It more than doubled. Right now we have around 340 staff members. A lot of them are car buyers. I would say around 65 of those would be physical car buyers, countrywide buying vehicles. But once you've got a car buyer, you need a driver for that buyer, you need logistics staff for the collection, you need admin staff, etc.
I'm part of the sales team. I'm the sales PA and I'm dealing with administration.
I'm a security guard. What I love about working here, it is the smile upon the clients that I meet.
We realized how important company culture is.
We really focus when employing people to make sure that it's a culture fit. We have a really enthusiastic and culture here where we really have like-minded people, you know, who's focused and really they buy into what we have to offer, the idea of WeBuyCars. They love our story and they then very soon become part of the family.
At the end of the day, we're all people, and I believe that if we really care for the people who work for us, if we as the leaders in the company manage to convey that spirit of true and honest care bottom up, it would transpire all the way through to the customer side.
Believe it or not, we don't have staff turnover. Nobody leaves us. We like to always refer that we want to be the greener grass on the other end of the fence. And we really get good quality people, and that's the most important thing. You know, get experienced people, pay more for them, but then you really get someone who does the job well.
And then you get that situation where someone would say to you, goodness, there's an interesting vibe here. Your people are smiling, they look happy. How come? To me, that's absolutely precious.
It's very nice. Everybody's so friendly and everybody is just, it's a family.
Working here, it's nice, you know.
I love customer service and we're dealing a lot with customers, so I love dealing with clients.
I'm working here for 2 years. I don't want to live here.
You meet new people every day, you learn new things every day.
If you ever deal with them, and we've had the opportunity to have various informal get-togethers or gatherings with the people and with management, and you can see it's one big family. They're very good people to deal with.
Dick's the elder by 3 years, and he's also the wiser one, I would say.
I like the bigger picture. Whenever there's strategy, philosophy involved, the bigger picture, that's what I like.
You'll come up with this weird idea that I've never heard about, you know, that then soon afterwards become lingo in the trade. Those type of things, he's always at the edge of those developments, and he makes sure that we stay there, you know, with all the research that he does. It's something that he really finds interesting, and once he's been there, he'll just move on to the next one and leave that one, and then I have to make it work.
The moment it gets to the nitty-gritty detail work of the day, then Fani would inform you that I'm a bit lazy.
No, that's true. That's exactly true.
Family brings a different dynamic to the table because you know, you're obviously dealing with more than just the individual. You're dealing with a wider system. But we have found over time that those are the ideal businesses to invest in.
Fani is the driving force, the dynamo in the company. Strategy and philosophy, broader picture thinking that doesn't build the company. It's the hard work, it's the day-to-day grind that makes the whole machine tick over smoothly.
They grow from a small base. People understand what they're dealing with. They're normally good entrepreneurs, and they have a very good understanding of the business that they're managing.
It's a nice partnership, and it's served us well.
In the beginning, it was about WeBuyCars. In the beginning, it was about us trying to make a living, cracking the whole entrepreneurial thing, starting a business and all that, and that is what gave us a kick in the beginning. But now WeBuyCars has grown to a big business, and our goalposts have shifted. There's a whole social awareness that goes not only into the inside towards the people that you employ, but towards the community in which you live. We get involved with welfare projects and so on, so the picture keeps on changing.
It's actually humbling because, you know, when you walk through our car lot and you see all these cars, you know, I would have never imagined that we would have a business like this. You know, we never ever, you know, remotely thought it's possible, and we always just worked hard and tried our best, and it grew into what it is nowadays. So yeah, it's we really feel privileged and blessed to be in this space, and we would like to carry on doing the same with the new investment that we had. We're really excited to see what the future holds. And what do you say, Dick?
I heard someone say the other day that the more different two business partners are, the more likely the business is to succeed. Well, it works, obviously.
As long as you don't kill each other.
You've been watching Motor Trends, bringing you a different perspective on the South African automotive industry. This edition was brought to you by WeBuyCars.